Well, hey, it's good to see you again. My name is Jaded Ben, and welcome back to another Wax Showcase video where we are the ones who dwell within. It is the 11th Wax Showcase video. We've had a lot of things going on here in the last couple of weeks. I've been to a lot of awesome shows, met a lot of awesome people, and we've got some awesome things to talk about today. But first, we're going to start by what is playing in the background just right over there, and that is going to be my good friends in Varanth. This is their debut demo entitled The Unsilent Winter Dark, released in 2024 digitally in an independent form, but done on tape via Red River Family. This is, at the time of this recording, this was a two-man project. My main man, Mr. Count Orlok, in the dead center there, who actually I work with, and Mr. Var Vodum, a good buddy of his. I had the chance of seeing these guys at the High Tones in San Antonio, Texas, opening for Necrofire, as well as with the band Fluxus Mortis out of San Antonio. So many great tracks on here. I would say if you're going to go check out anything, I'd say Dance of December Moon or Final Harvest being a couple of really, really good tracks on here. These guys have been hard at work. They dropped another album in September of last year, and they're working on something which is going to be out on Valentine's Day. So I'm going to link to their Bandcamp down in the description. Go and support these guys. I've got some cool things in the pipeline with these guys coming up very, very shortly, and you'll be the first to hear about it right here on the YouTube channel. Speaking of Necrofire, I actually managed to catch them twice on that recent tour in San Antonio on the final night, and the night before, my brother and I made the 3.5-hour excursion all the way to Houston, Texas, where we caught not this project, but another project, the main project of the main man behind this project, that would be Mr. Vide. But on today's episode, we're going to be talking about Some Dead Bodies with Monolith, released in 2021 on Gems label. Now, there's a cool thing about this. Not only is mine signed by nobody, aka Mr. Vide, but within the last day or so, I have acquired the test press version, numbered 10 of 10. I obtained that one through Armageddon, but we're going to put this one down here for now. We're going to talk about this one in specific. This is Vide's death metal project, and man, what an absolute monster of a record this is. Seriously, this is just old school lo-fi death metal with a slight southern twist, especially in the lyrics and a little bit of the structure-wise as well. It was such an absolute blast being able to meet Mr. Vide and ask him a couple of questions. The show there was absolutely incredible. Of course, we saw Vide, his black metal project, but this is a personal favorite of mine, and of course, I just had to show this one off. The particular variant for this one is the pink transparent. I don't believe there was a limitation specified. And of course, the test press, which is on black vinyl. Absolutely incredible. I know a couple of things about Mr. Vide that I am not able to talk about at this very moment in time. He has sworn me to secrecy, so I will not say anything. But when you find out, they will be shown here on the channel as well. I've got some cool things coming up with him as well. So that was an absolute blast for all you death metal loving guys out there. Check out that project. Check out Vide. Check out all of his projects. He has so much work on mine. There's got to be something for you out there. Okay, let's talk about an album that I have been revisiting over the last couple of weeks, and this was also a band that I saw not too long ago. This was in April. Gag with Still Laughing, released in 2020 on Iron Lung Records. These guys opened up for Sanguisugabog and Jesus Piece. I saw them with the Mohawk in April of 2024. These guys are just basically an old school punk group, and man, really good at that. Seriously, these guys take the old school sound and really run with it. I've almost compared these guys in a similar nature to Poison Ruin, who I featured on the channel a couple of times in the last couple of months. But So many awesome tracks in here, such as Still Laughing, High Off Gunpowder, London Fog, and Taki Bomba being a couple excellent selections from that. Sadly, the band did not have any records on the tour when I saw them, so I had to kind of get this one second hand, and I'm actually kind of glad I did, because this was super rare as far as I was aware. I got the transparent gang green copy, which was limited to 100 copies. I believe this was a label exclusive, I could be wrong on that. But these guys just dropped an EP last year, which I absolutely loved as well. I'm hoping that'll get the vinyl treatment sometime in the near future. But seriously, if you guys just love fun punk rock music, check these guys out. I don't think there's going to be anything egregious about it in the slightest. I think you might actually really enjoy it. Okay, let's move into a band that I would like to see very, very much. We just did the video not too long ago. This kind of was an honorable mention, but I'm hoping one day we'll get the chance to see them. I'm referring to Wormrot. This is their 2024 compilation entitled Left to Rot, released on Earache Records. This whole release is just the band's 2007 and 2008 splits and demos rolled into one. This whole thing is like 30-something tracks in like just under 30 minutes. It's insane. So many cuts on here that I fell in love with when I was getting into the band, because I kind of discovered them through a plethora of playlists on YouTube and Spotify with a bunch of grindcore and power violence stuff. So some personal favorites of mine, we're going to go with Mass Disruption, False, Grind, Sodomy, which is like 3 seconds long, but I was kind of into that sort of really fast grindcore stuff like Napalm Death and Wormrot back when. Condemnation, Violate the Dead, and Freedom to Act being a couple of options on there. Funny enough, very, very recently, this particular lineup from Wormrot has gotten back together, so that has given me hope that I will have the chance to see them live one of these days. The packaging on this one was actually really, really cool. I picked it up through Earache Records website specifically, though I remember that there was a particular Obi Strip version that exists out there in the ether. I got an email about this before I saw it anywhere else, so that was pretty cool of Earache Records to send me that. I have got the Coffee Splatter, which is this kind of brownish kind of cream tint with black, brown, and white splatter. Can't really tell the white splatter. It's kind of hard to see, but very, very sick variant. All things considered, almost perfect splatter. Very, very happy to have this in my collection, especially since I love early Wormrot. It is such a violent group, especially back then. But yeah, everybody's seen the picture of them with the goat. That was right around that era, so very much love these guys. They're from Singapore, in case you didn't know, so I don't believe they've ever played the US, but I would very, very much like them to, because experiencing some of these tracks live would be absolutely fucking mental. Okie dokie. Speaking of bands that are a little bit on the violent side, we're going to talk about an old release. This was also a compilation, by the way. I am referring to Abacab. This is the self-titled compilation, released in 2024 on Secret Swarm Records. These guys were a deathcore group that was active, I believe, in the mid-2000s to early 2010s. They were very popular in the MySpace scene, from what I've been told. I kind of discovered these guys through, again, a lot of YouTube recommendations and stuff. I remember, I think I saw a video of somebody talking about a bunch of MySpace deathcore and metalcore, and these guys did catch my attention, though getting a copy of that stuff back then wasn't the easiest, so getting a copy of this done on such a killer vinyl variant and reissue is absolutely insane. This is everything of the band pre their debut album, so a lot of, there's a certain grit to this record that I feel like that album has to, like, with attitude, but the sound quality of it was a little more polished. Basically, if you just like super frantic hardcore, deathcore, metalcore, check these guys out. This is absolutely awesome. Personal favorites: 21 Gun Salute or Firing Squad, and the demo version of Regression. So, it's actually pretty good tracks on here, all things considered. Again, sort of the scene that I've been trying to go back to and do a lot more digging into, because I know some of these old school modern deathcore groups would go on to form other projects, so of course that is always something I'm interested in, as trying to be an encyclopedia of metal myself. The variant for this was absolutely gorgeous. I believe this was the multiple stab wounds variant, which was limited to 50 copies. Question mark, maybe 100. Absolutely gorgeous. So cool. Easily one of the coolest variants. I think this was the best variant of this particular pressing, and I'm very, very happy I got it, though there were some absolutely incredible ones. So, yeah. If you can find a copy of this online, this sold out rather fast, so if you can find a copy of this online, get it. It's awesome. Abacab, self-titled. Okie doke. We've got one more record to talk about today, and that is yet another violent group that we saw. I wouldn't say violent in attitude, this is just music-wise. We saw these guys in August, if I'm not mistaken, at the Mohawk. This is Deathgrave with It's Only Midnight, released in 2023 on Tank Crimes Records. I had known about these guys for a good while. I had picked up a couple of mystery boxes from Tank Crimes a good couple of years ago, and I got their album. It's whatever the last record was before this one. Name is eluding me right now. This particular record is just nothing short of fun, awesome death groove, a little bit of thrash, a little bit of grind in there too. Honestly, one of the most entertaining stage performances I've ever seen. Every single member has their own unique aura and movement and interaction style with the other members. Their vocalist is absolutely a madman, because he's up there gesturing all of his guts are falling out, he's vomiting. I was standing in the very front, and he made the joke that he came over to my head and nod on my head and pretended to throw it up on the guy next to me, which was so much fun. I couldn't help myself but laughing the whole time. I'm sure the video footage I'm showing on screen is a good enough example of that. But this also features Greg Wilkinson, currently of Autopsy. So that was a lot of fun, getting to see him yet again on a different project. I had never seen Deathgrave live, but I had seen Autopsy once before. So it's kind of cool that he's actually kind of moved on to also super cool projects, though he's still in this group as well. So many great tracks on here, such as On All Fours, Sewer Runs Through Her, Resurrect, Slurring Sermons, and Lonely Streets. The particular variant that I grabbed was limited to 250 copies. It's on this blue with black and red butterfly wings with red splatter. They just called it the wing splattered variant. I got this around Christmas time on Tank Crimes' last blowout sale, and I know there's copies of that still available. So if you like a lot of death metal and grindcore, I highly recommend checking these guys out as well if you haven't. So, Deathgrave from Oakland, California with It's Only Midnight. Well, that is going to wrap it up for today's episode. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope everything is going well for you in this fast world. When life throws things at you, throw things right back at it because you didn't order it. And as always, stay safe, stay metal. I'll see you next time.